Of the New Balance FuelCell Rebel V2, $130, releasing March. 10 of us tested it, and in the video you'll have snapshot comments from each of our testers, as well as comparisons and a recorded Zoom earlier in our testing. It's a sensational new shoe from New Balance with lots of bouncy, flexible, energetic ride here. It weighs 7.33 ounces, 208 grams in a US 9 men's, and 6 ounces, 171 grams in a women's 8. It has a 20-26 stack height, so a 6 millimeter drop. The upper is an engineered mesh. The white threads give it a bit more structure. There is no gusseted tongue. It's a single tongue construction here. The toe bumper is a flexible kind of rubbery material. There's plenty of toe box room and height, but this is more of a performance type fit. The lacing is asymmetrical and works very well. I particularly like the panels at the rear, which really lock down the foot. The fit has been true to size for all our testers. You note the tongue. There you can see how it wraps around the foot along with the panels. The Achilles collar is fairly high, but has proved comfortable. The stability, a lot of it comes from the nice outsole, although its durability isn't quite the best we've seen. So the midsole sidewalls also give you the shoe some stability because this foam is very soft. So the combination of sidewalls and outsoles really help stabilize what is a very soft shoe. So we've taken them out all over the world, really, and now we're going to give you some our impressions, some conclusions from our written review. We hope you'll go over and see them, and then we'll have some comparisons. Ryan, our fastest 5K runner, who can be seen under 15 minutes quite frequently, said the Rebel's exciting midsole rebound and ultra-low inertia feel like the true definition of the word freedom. Buyer beware. If you don't like unbridled bounce and a lack of stability, this probably isn't the foam for you. Jacob Brady says the construction fit is excellent. It's easy to dial in the lacing, comfortable and barely there on the foot. This makes it a joy to wear. Underfoot, it is bouncy, flexible, and fun, adequately cushioned and smooth for general training and propulsive when you push it in workouts. Just don't expect a snappy, quick turnover racer or effortlessly plus locked-in cruiser here. Sally Riley says the Rebel 2 is a fantastic and fun daily trainer that will stand out for me as the shoe to beat in 2021. Renee says if you like the lightweight, neutral, and fast shoes, get the Rebel. As a trainer, it's fun and versatile, and as a speed workout shoe, it's much cheaper than the carbon-plated options. Derek says it's still early days and there are plenty of new models yet to be launched, but the Rebel 2 has quickly positioned itself as at the front of the queue for overall daily trainer of the year. It does suffer for some poor outsole durability, and it is best for a neutral runner. And if you are, it is a must-try. Michael, who often challenges Ryan for speediest RTR contributor, says, seriously, such a fun shoe and the kind of trainer that as a shoe reviewer you almost hate to see because it's so damn hard to wear anything else. Cheng in Michigan says, personally, I'll say that it's the 2021 shoe of the year thus far. I rarely have a platform where I'm purposely trying to limit myself from overrunning it in it, but this is one. Adam, who's also a competitive collegiate Nordic skier, says, these are my favorite unplated road shoes I've ever tested. They're responsive, very light, and a joy to run in. For really fast paces or racing, I still prefer a plated shoe, but for fun training days and tempo run, the FuelCell foam here in a flexible platform is a compelling package. Jamie, an ultra runner in Chicago, who recently set the FKT on the lakefront trail, 30 miles plus, says, for an everyday trainer that can handle up-tempo miles, the Rebel V2 does an incredible job. If you want to feel light on your feet with a little pep to your step, this is a great option. Brian in Australia, and we'll give him a shot of the shoe on snow, says, stable, responsive, and fun. The Rebel 2 has a worthy shot of becoming 2021's best not-plated shoe, especially for neutral runners. The main concern is the durability of the outsole. And Peter Stewart in Texas says the V2 is close to being a perfect shoe. It's a teeny bit unwieldy due to the insane amounts of super fun springiness. Doesn't go super fast like a 1400, but I'd run a marathon in it without a doubt, and I'd train in it every day. It's a strong buy. Does RTR editor Sam say about the Rebel? Well, it sets a new standard for a plateless, more natural ride shoe, one of the best in recent years, with a far more dynamic and forgiving ride than any of those earlier legends, such as the Kinvara, the 1400, various Ultra, Hoka, Clifton, etc. It has one of the best uppers I can recall, and my only concern is I'd like a teeny bit more pop off the front, and the outsole durability is a bit of an issue. Few comparisons here. Our written review has 15 in all, but let's talk about the Rebel V1. So it was a little bit wider through the toe box, but the Rebel V2 is a lot softer and bouncier and much more fun to run. Michael said the Rebel V1 was kind of stiff and rigid, and while it was certainly a faster feeling shoe, it was not nearly as bouncy or propulsive as V2. The Propel V1 and the Rebel V2 are really comparable shoes in the FuelCell line. However, the Rebel 2 is much lighter and the rocker geometry is better implemented, which makes it more propulsive and easier to run according to Jacob, and I agree. The upcoming Zoom X Invincible run from Nike has a similar very bouncy, springy, soft midsole, but there's more of it. It is slightly more stable and probably a little bit better longer run shoe than our much lighter Rebel V2. The Hoka Mach 4, similar ride here, bouncy, energetic ride, a bit more cushion, a bit more stability at the same price. So it's a tough choice between these two great shoes. Finally, New Balance's top-of-the-line Racer, the RC Elite, which has exactly the same foam in terms of firmness and density, but has a different outsole and, of course, a carbon plate. So if you like the ride of the Rebel V2, you'll get a bit different ride here because the plate in the mix makes it, of course, rigid and a bit firmer. So that is your fast day shoe. And now some commentary from Adam and Derek, recorded a couple months ago early in their testing.
Yeah, so it's a really fun shoe. I think what's special about this shoe, there are a lot of bouncy shoes on the market today. What's special about the shoe is somehow there is just enough rocker to it so that when you land hard on the heel, it propels you forward rather than just upwards. And I think Adam covered a lot of things really well. The upper is really comfortable. I like that it fits really well. And in terms of comparisons, two shoes that I think are good comparisons. One is the Razor 3, the Skechers Razor 3. The difference between the two is, I think, even though they have very similar official heel-to-toe drops, the Rebel doesn't bottom out as easily as the Razor 3, and it seems to kind of roll through a little bit faster. So if you're more of a heel striker, I think you'll find the Rebel a bit easier to run in than the Razor 3, which tends to favor more of a mid-foot or forefoot strike. Of course, the other shoe that's a good comparison is the TC and the RC. So I use the RC because the weight is almost the same. The difference between these two is that the RC is very stiff because of the plate. But otherwise, if you just go by the softness of the shoe, and I think people have speculated before that the FuelCell foam is the same in the two shoes. I think it's quite a fair guess. They do feel very similar. So if you want something that's like a racer on a budget, this would be a very good option.
Yeah. Thank you. That's
probably not heard about because it's supposed to go out of embargo tomorrow, is the New Balance Rebel V2. And this shoe is technically a 21 shoe, but it is already one of my favorites for that year. And it combines, well, earlier what I heard was that plated racers are for people who are not young like me. And for people like me, this is a shoe I should enjoy. Some person at New Balance said that, I will not comment who. but I was like, sure, I'll give it a try, and I love it. This is a bouncy light fuel cell foam. Not exactly sure what's in it, but it does not feel like your standard EVA, and it's bouncy, it's responsive, it's light. The upper is excellent. I think this is my favorite non-plated shoe I've ever ran in, and as I said before, talking about the Topo Cyclone, I think it's good for me not to run in a plated shoe all the time. And I like being able to feel the ground and actually strengthen my foot muscles. But this is a shoe that's fun, it's fast, it feels good at slow paces, much better than the Endorphin Pro does at slow paces. And when you pick up the pace, like the shoe still flexes, but it also bounces. And it is a joy to run in. Love the look of the upper as well. Some fun colors, which is definitely a plus. And yeah, this is definitely going to be, this and the Endorphin Pro are probably the shoes I'm going to go back and forth between until I get something else fun to test. So
Adam,
yeah.
we're just going to add a little, maybe I'll do it as a separate video. What would you compare it to? And maybe go into a touch more detail.
Yeah. So for road shoes that I could compare this to, it's not really a rockered shoe. So a lot of the plated shoes that you've run in before aren't really going to be that like it. Honestly, I don't have that many shoes that are that similar to this because it combines that bounce that you get from something like P-backs and an Endorphin Pro with the like just simple, stable, like it feels like a Sonic Accelerate 3 just with a ton of bounce is the best way I could describe it. And it's nice and cushioned at lower speeds, but when you turn up the pace, it just accelerates. Like energy goes in, energy goes out at regardless of pace. And that's the best way I can describe running in it. Unfortunately, I haven't ran the RC or the T.
Thank you very much for watching. I hope you'll check out our full multi-test review, 10 reviewers and 15 comparisons, almost 13,000 words. And we hope you'll also consider subscribing to our channel for all the latest on running shoes and gear.